Hotep, this is a response to a video I seen recently that dealt with the science of the woman being God, so to speak. I've been having a I guess you could say a email conversation with a brother, and we were discussing the content that was brought forth in the video. And there's a couple of things that he disagrees with, and I see his point also. So I wish to bring in this response not only commenting or relating to what was displayed in the video, is also to relate what I also have been having in this conversation with this brother. And the only reason I'm not, saying his name is because he didn't give me permission to at this time. And plus, this is not to blast him out. This is just to give my rendition or interpretation of the information. Now, I feel that a lot of individuals who deal with this science, as well as myself, one of the reasons why we say woman is God or woman is first is because the fact when we deal with woman or dealing with just the word woman, we're dealing with the man or the men who have wombs, who are the representation of stargates and black holes, so that give birth in the physical reality. So I mean, we're not only dealing with the woman, we're dealing with the mammals or anything that brings forth life or generates life. The the incubator, so to speak, or incubator, and that's not meant derogatively. I'm just dealing with facts. Okay, now I will explain this. One of the reasons why a lot of individuals um, feel that and know that woman was first is because of the fact this one of the things that's not covered in the video is the science dealing with parthenogenesis. If it was covered and I missed it, and I apologize for the person who posted the video. Parthenogenesis is the science that the deals with women through certain mental emotional processes have activated chemical processes within themselves that allow them to generate life asexually. Okay, this is not just something I'm pulling out my ass. These these are facts that are generated or that have been posted on the internet, in books, especially when you deal with information that comes from Professor Hotema. Okay, and at my, or well, based upon my knowledge, I've also acknowledged the fact that this is done. Parthenogenesis too is done in cases where the universal rhythms of the universe, or I guess you could say the nature or netter, has to have a certain amount of souls or spiritual essences in the form of flesh on a planet. So this is why you can see it with certain lizards, or with matter of fact, lizard or the reptile kingdom generate asexually. Well, some of them, I can't say all. Some of them create asexually, and every now and then a male is born, or someone representing the male is born. And what this does, it purifies and keep the gene pool strong. Then after they mate, they kill the male or eat the male. Okay, and we've also seen examples of this with the black widow. It's been said in some circles that if you allow too many males to run free, they'll mess up the planet or something, or mess up the equilibrium, I guess. Okay, so examples of this is like the movie Dune. Whether you look at the old version of Dune or the Dune that came out in 2000, there were this group of witches or priestesses, rather priestesses, who were known as the Bene Jesuits. And the Bene Jesuits were do the science of how to create and have offspring without males. And they can also control how they created the child. And most often in that story, they would have children or have girls. However, the one in the House of Atreides decided to have a son because she really loved the guy. She married the guy not necessarily for, well, which is Duke Atreides. She married him not only to unite the houses and keep the peace. She actually loved him, so she gave him a son. And so that's one example that they have put in movies. And then there's other examples, you know. So another thing too is the fact that I accept some of the information of woman being first, but I also look at this too. In the antiquity of life on this planet, we talking about billions, millions, and billions of years ago when the first, I guess you could say, humanoid life forms came to be. From my research, it shows me that the first entity was not a woman, and it wasn't a man either. It was both energies combined in one androgynous entity. And then through adaptation and the equalizing of vibrations universally, as the planet began to settle to the form that it was, when, I guess you could say, everything was mostly pure, so to speak, depending on how you take it, then what we have is the sexes in the form of what we call masculine, feminine, male, and female. And from there, you can check out this information too with Dr. Blair's information, because I'm borrowing for that from that also. Um, Males, or what we call the male species, long time ago had a very hard transitioning state to live here. If you read in old Greek texts and stuff like that, it talks about when a male was being born, it's practically like they had to go through a whole bunch of troubles and hills and challenges and stuff like that. This is because the fact in the antiquity, after the sexes split, if a man wasn't circumcised at a certain time of his age, in his developing stages of his age when he was young, then he could possibly develop more of a womb rather than a penis, so to speak, or masculine phallic organ. Okay, this is clearly seen because of the fact, if you look at the diagram of the male sexual organs and then the female sexual organs, what's not exaggerated in her, or what's dormant in us, she has open, so to speak. And so, matter of fact, there are even certain tribes over the world, in remote parts, that have men who have wombs. Not only that, there's some tribes or certain places in the world where a woman has both a penis and a vagina. Okay, so I know some people will hear this and be like, "Yo, that's some wild shit right there." However, it's reality. And one of the funniest places you would see it, and people probably wouldn't think that I would bring this example. However, there, well, let me say this. I will admit, in my younger life, I was exposed to some things by my older brother that I feel that I wouldn't expose my nephews or any young brother to. Anyways, there was a porno movie with Vanessa Del Rio, and this porno movie was basically showing, it was like her, I guess you'd say, docudrama of how she got into the business. And she was in this, of course, and one of the scenes, she actually had sex with a woman that had both a penis or a phallus and a vagina. I Bull crap, nobody not. And so it stuck in my mind for a long time. So when I got older and started studying information dealing with parthenogenesis, I was like, oh snap, I seen that before. Okay, and there are actually some women in the business, entertainment business, that were born with both organs, and the parents decided to have the penis removed. Now I'm not going to name those women on this video. However, you can contact me in the email, and I can tell you, or I may tell you to that effect. So those are just examples, and clearly shows that at one point we will run one. So I'll continue in a part two of this, even though I didn't plan to do it. Hotep.